Yep.
All right, what's your favorite? Lights are out. What's your favorite here, Jonathan?
I've got to see that 24, to be honest. That Corvette is really, really nice. It's such a beautiful car. And the fact that it's a 1960, really early days of Corvette. Wonderful.
To me, that's a British-looking American car.
Right. Yeah, almost a Corvette reaction to the British invasion.
Yeah, it looks like an Austin Healey.
Yep, I'm with you there. Here we go then. Group 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5B underway. Travis Engen looking for a good start here up against the Corvette of Bill Treffert. And they're side by side as they head into the left-hander. Quick look to the right by Treffert and realizes that the quite smaller Lotus 23B, the lightweight Lotus from Colin Chapman, dives into the lead. As through goes the 77 of Alan Schomer in that Mazda MX-5 Miata from 1999.
Bill Treffert there in second place, followed by, it looks like, John Nash, Scott Frazier, Duke Waldrip on the left side there. Todd Cruz right behind Duke Waldrip, and then there is that Triumph Spitfire and Rick Frazier and Schomer. What a crazy group of cars. Travis Engen coming through Hoosier Tire, turn 6. Jonathan, that shot there, you can really see all the different iterations of pavement at Sebring.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a multi-service place, and yes, a lot of bumps too. So these little small bore cars really feel it. Suspension design not as perhaps good as the modern day design of the Miata that's out there, but they seem to ride them well. John Nash firing it away in the number 7 and looking rather good in that Lotus Super 7 there from 1961. So we've got a nice smorgasbord of cars that go, what, to 99 and all the way back to 1960.
Now, the real battle that I'm interested in is that Lotus 7 there, John Nash, that Group 3 with Bill Treffert. Bill Treffert has had a lot of great battles here with our 356s. So, two totally different designations of design here. And then look at the smile on that Bug-Eye Sprite, racing with his friend Duke Waldrip back there. Duke and Scott Frazier, they race quite a bit and are at events quite a bit together. Everybody loves the Fraziers, so this should be a pretty good battle that we don't often get to see Group 2 and Group 1 cars going at it.
No, that's true. Good point. Look like little pockets of battles all the way through from the drone. You really get to see it too. So we've got the leader pulling away, then you've got a battle for 2nd and 3rd and a battle for 3rd and 4th. Or 4th and 5th, excuse me.
And look at Bishop Bend there. You can really see the line that we've carved out in the asphalt. You can see that with where the sun is and the light reflects off the pavement. But here it is. This is where Bill Treffert should have the advantage on John Nash in that Lotus. You see Travis Engen there in the red car with the Red Bull helmet, followed by Bill Treffert, John Nash, and then Scott Frazier and Duke side by side.
Yeah, they are. He's going to get past him, I think, on the inside. But that's been a good battle throughout this first lap. Nash coming through Sunset, bouncing away. So already pulling away a good, strong lead, Travis Engen. What about a juxtaposition of cars that he drives too? This tiny car he's out there in the moment, and then of course he drives that big Audi R8.
Yeah, he's got an Indy Lights Red Bull car with us in Group 9. He's got a Formula B that he races with us in Group 2. He just loves racing.
Well, that's one thing I've learned about SVRA. They do love what they do, and they're here pounding around on a Friday morning, if not a Thursday night, to get going and get ready for the weekend. And I absolutely adore it.
There you see John Nash. Now, John Nash through the twisty bits is going to catch up to that Corvette. That Corvette with that rear end as it is, that's going to be tough to drive through those parts. Now he's on the gas here through Hoosier Tire turn 6, coming into the braking zone, and watch how much later that Lotus can brake than that Corvette.
Yeah, that's a good battle between Treffert and Nash, and I think that's going to continue because Engen is gone. He's already 5.6 seconds up the road. Turning in nicely, the 18 of Tom Brown. I love that color scheme. Currently 6th place. Down the Fangio straight, or kink, to the back of the circuit.
You know, I got to tell a funny story about Sebring. So when I started the social media channels for SVRA, I started advertising a lot to Forza and Gran Turismo players. And I got a lot of comments when I would show videos from Sebring of, I had no idea this was a real place. And if you win in Forza at Sebring, you win some of the cars that we're racing here today, like that blue Boss 302. And it was funny, Road America, Road Atlanta, and Sebring, I'd always get comments that the video game players had no idea they were places in real life. They just sound so made up, so generic. Road Atlanta, Road America, Sebring, Florida. But no, these are real places.
Sense.
They've been here forever.
I do get that when you're playing a video game.
We've made motorsports fans out of video game players by just showing them this is real life.
Yep.
Either that or we have very good graphics.
Well, I think it's a bit of both, to be fair. Well, and of course, simulations. By the way, Simcraft here this weekend. Don't forget, if you are here at Sebring International Race Rate, the real deal, you can go down and see what Simcraft's latest motion sims are all about. They've got 2 set up there. I hadn't had to go myself because it's been too busy. They're getting they're getting fastest laps as we go on. But these guys are some of the best in the business, and they deal with professionals at the highest level. We're talking, you know, guys who are serious about the ultimate because their movement. So in other words, you're doing the yaw and the jaw, and you're really in the simulator. You're not just watching a screen. I
am a terrible simulator driver. I need to work on that. Look at this. This is Rick Frazier in the 007 1972 MG Midget. And then there's Schamer back there, Alan Schamer in an NB 1999 Mazda MX-5 Miata. And ladies and gentlemen, remember we learned the difference between an NA and an NB through our comments. So if you have any expertise on these cars, feel free to give us some great insight. And Mr. Girth Brooks, who was helping us out last time, if you get on the iRacing side of things, you can actually meet some of the pro drivers too. Exactly right.
Well, I can give you an insight. My grandmother had an MG Midget, and she loved it because she could get to the shops in no time. Trouble is, she couldn't put, there was no room for all the shopping. Yeah. Once she got there.
Yeah, the groceries. Yeah, the groceries are tough. Yeah, some of those Austin Healey Bug-Eye Sprites or Frog-Eye Sprites had no, what do you call them, bonnet lids?
Bonnet, that nice.
Yeah.
No lid involved, just bonnet.
No trunks, but look at the lines of this Corvette. That's such a beautiful car. Bill Treffert's been racing that for a long time. If you get on our social media channels, you'll see him in slow motion through Canada Corner, coming through the trees. But man, that thing puts out a musical note that is unbelievable.
Nash still third, still tracing Treffert. You can see the gap between them. And from above and high above it, you can see as they head down to the last complex of the track, the gap between them, and then also where Waldrop is just behind in 5th place. So the field spreading out. There's Brown just coming through shot there in that single-seater in 6th. Followed by Cruz, Fraser, and Schumacher.
You can really see the groove worn in there, Bishop's Bend. And it's really cool. All right, so John Nash behind him again. He's going to try to duck into the draft, but there's Frazier. Why is Frazier all the way over driver's right? Now, I think he's got a problem. He's looking for a place to pull in with that airplane in the background. What a great shot that is.
That is pretty cool.
But Frazier, our champion.
He's way offline, that's for sure. So.
Car's still got a smile on it, but here comes Todd Cruz. That's going to put a big smile on Todd Cruz's car. And Bill
So
Treffert.
the battle's still on for 2nd and 3rd as they cross the line again. 4 laps of the 7 completed. Corvette bouncing his way to turn 1. Meanwhile, Engen's some 20 seconds up the road.
I love these cars where you can see into the cockpit, seeing the driver's input. There's Travis Engen coming through Hoosier Tire turn 6, coming up on Bennett Bridgehall, turn 7. Look at how low. I don't see how they fit an engine in that profile of that car. You know, with the bodywork the way it is, it's unbelievable to see how they cram the engine in there.
It's a very good point, yeah.
And Doc Bundy races a Lotus 23 with us quite a bit, and he's got a little mister that sprays a mist onto the front brakes on a steering wheel, a button that sprays a mist, and then he's got his pedals are set up from left to right. It is clutch, brake, gas, so that he can do all kinds of heel toe. But look at this. Yeah, it's amazing. The engineering Colin Chapman had, he just was like, everything with him was how to make more out of less, you know, and how to, what does he say? Create lightness. What's the phrase?
Lightness out of dark?
Adding lightness. No, it was adding lightness to the cars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Surely I'm getting yelled at over here.
That was always the sort of complaint of, certainly at a Formula One level, of Colin's cars, was that he made them so lightweight that they started to get worried. But that was his game. And by the way, he was, you know, you talk about Adrian Newey these days. You know, he was the Adrian Newey of his time with in many ways, at that level anyway, because he sought out places on a car that either took up too much space or were able to become more lightweight. We've seen it, you know, from every iteration, from every marque and manufacturer that goes racing. If you can keep the power, but lighten it up, you're going to go faster.
All right, here's what we got. We got Mr. Forbang and say, please, please, please make a channel that has no talking during the race. I can't watch anymore. So I'm going to give you a chance here, Mr. Forbang. We're going to go quiet here for a little bit. See what you guys think of that, and just give you what you want. You know, we're all about the fans here, so we're going to go quiet for a little bit. Let us hear the audio noise. And then looking at the comments, we're getting a lot of boos from the no noise. So, and people are saying if you don't like it, you can mute it. Oh, there's Todd Cruz with a little bit of rear end damage.
Yeah,
that happened in
practice.
Plus,
my producer was freaking out, going, "What's happened technically? What's happened?"
But he had that happen. He backed into the wall at 16. But there's Mitch Bressler, our Pro Mechanic of the Year, fixing that and working on it. They got the brake lights to work, and he and 007 are out there, and it looks like Scott Frazier is out of the race, which is very, very rare for Scott Frazier. But look at the lines of that car. I love the MGs.
On a serious note, we will bring you commentary throughout the year, but you can always watch it at your leisure, I may add. It's on YouTube. It's going to be there forever. You can mute it if you like and enjoy what you love. So do it your way. We're not going to dictate how you watch it. You just enjoy it however way you want.
Yeah, and actually, some of the races that we post on our YouTube, I do
this
commentary, and sometimes I just do the engine noise.
Yeah, a lot of the highlights we put out are just sounds of the cars. So
we're all motorsports enthusiasts too.
Yeah, we are. Look, we're trying to get a conversation going. We want you guys to give us feedback. That's what the whole point is.
Yeah.
We're loving these beautiful cars. Some of them have history, some of them don't as much, and so therefore we like to keep it lighthearted. But as Ben sets the pace, he is, as he describes it, kind of the camp counselor for SVRA, and they know him all, and he's got great stories about who's involved. And it's about the people as well as the cars.
Instigator, camp counselor. And this is my favorite group. I am an MG person. I have a 1959 MGA. I've had MG midgets. I've had TR4s.
Which is ironic because you live in Nashville, so you must come to a stoplight and they all look down at you.
Yeah, and rarely do I pull up to a stoplight where somebody doesn't pull up next to me and say, "Man, what kind of car is that?" Yeah. And then when you say MG, you just get a blank stare right back. What? And then they think it's a kit car. And I'm like, no, these were actually very prominent cars. This is, we had a great shot there, the number 7, Todd Cruz from Dothan, Alabama. I'm sure he gets the same comments that I do. Really fast driver out there. And look at this. Here's that Triumph Spitfire coming up against Duke Waldrop. What a great name. I've known Duke for about 10 years, but how he's not in old Western movies, I'll never know.
No kidding. How do you get on at the drive-thru? That must be tough.
Yeah. You got to reach way up, or an ATM, drive-through ATM.
Yeah.
You can't reach the buttons.
No kidding.
And Duke is doing the great thing. I'm watching Duke's running. He's kind of giving a line that says, hey, if you can pass me, I'm going to let you pass me safely. But I'm also going to, hold my line and make sure that you know I'm there. And that's all that we're asking for from Duke. And it's so great to have Duke and Faye back with us racing. I think Duke's son is here with us this weekend. And they took a hiatus there for about a season. And You really notice that when somebody's at every race, or just about every race, you really notice when they leave for a little bit. So great to have them back with us. So they come into Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers turn 2, 3 complex. Now they're coming up to Hoosier Tire turn 6. And I love all the campers that come out, and it's growing every year.
Oh, yeah.
So happy that Sebring opened up Green Park for us. This event is a lot more family-friendly, we'll call it, than the 12 Hours of Sebring or Super Sebring. But back to that battle here, lap 6 to 7, John Nash and
he's reeled him in, hasn't he?
Bill Treffer, yeah. Oh, and there's our leader, Travis Engen.
Well, he's got a huge gap, and his lead is massive as he comes out of Sunset towards the white flag to have one more lap and one more run at it. There is the white flag for Travis Engen, but we're really watching that battle now between Treffer and Nash. It's getting closer with one lap to go.
Give it up for JR and the team at GMT. They just prepare such great cars. I can't even think in my recent memory a time that car didn't make it to the checkered flag under its own power. And keeping a Lotus 23 like that running, that's difficult.
Okay, Corvette versus Bill Treffer in the Lotus 7. John Nash just behind him, but Nash not as close as I thought he was going to be coming into this last lap. It's been a good run by the 24.
But Bill's swaying. Those brakes are hurting right there coming through Mission Foods turn 17.
A nice wide line too. Look at Nash, he's on it. Looked like he was on rails as they pass our commentary position. They take the white flag now, and the Corvette stands absolutely resplendent.
You know what I should do for our YouTube commenters? I should just set up an audio recording device.
Well, just
out
put
there,
a GoPro out
and then we can just make a podcast out of these great sounds. Because you could buy albums of Sebring 1974 or 1969.
Yeah.
And so maybe we need to start doing that.
Talking of buying albums, you could also buy albums from our 2-time Grammy winner sitting next to me, Ben Sissel.
Yeah, a lifetime ago. Lotus 23 is a much unbeatable back in the 1960s, says Irwin. And still today,
Yep.
They just, there wasn't a lot that could keep up with them, unless it was like a possibly Road America in the class. But anytime you get to like a Twisty Bits, man, Sebring and Road America kind of have the longest straight sections, but you go to Road Atlanta, you go to a Mid-Ohio, or especially Lime Rock, that had to be just unbeatable.
Yes, exactly. That would be the perfect track, Lime Rock, wouldn't it? Very short. Engen, Treffer, and Nash, that's been your top 3, and here comes your leader coming out of the heat haze for the final time down the Ullman straight towards Sunset here at Sebring, the classic circuit that has been running races since the 1950s. And delighted to bring you a little touch of history, some of the original cars that would run back in the day, 60s, 70s, 80s, and of course Trans Am began its 57-year career here at Trans Am in March 1966.
Here we go.
And there's the checkered flag then. Engen does it in style, and he really did just dominate that one. Good battle, though, between Treffer and Nash. Nash kept it honest, but in the end, I think it's going to go to the Corvette.
You know, it's cool for me because I kind of grown up in vintage racing. That right there is one of my heroes, Travis Engen.
Yes.
You know, and so I love it. I have a big smile on my face. I am a Travis Engen fan.
Yeah, Travis, no spring chicken. Should we put it that way?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Well, it means he's not the youngest of our drivers.
Well, if you're racing at any age, you're always 15.
Yeah, that's true. So there's that battle, second and third, and the Corvette under braking now for the final corner is going to hold on. That 1960 Corvette. Absolutely glorious. I'd love to take a closer look at that. John Nash, though, taking it all the way to the end and getting as close as he could right at the end. Wow, good finish, John.
Woo! See, I love it. I'm fans of these guys. That's what's so weird is, you know, been in vintage racing now so long and friends with all the drivers and fans, and we've all had dinner or lunches together. So look at this, side by side, just giving each other thumbs up. What a great race. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that 5 seconds you just saw there is what vintage racing is all about.
Yes. Well, thanks, Ben. And that concludes our coverage of the early days of SVRA in day 2. But don't forget, coming up, we have our TA race, the big race of the day. Yesterday was TA2. Today is TA, XGT, SGT, and GT racing. So watch out for that. We've got one of the biggest fields we've ever had in TA, and it's their championship opener as well. Brabham versus